Hey everyone, my name's Tom. In this video I'm really excited. I've been able to finally return my investment on crypto mining with even my RX550 here, which you've seen my original video. I'll link it in the description, where this was almost just a test miner that I got really cheap at the beginning of the lockdown. It's all I could find. This was back when there was no cards available, and the only thing I could find was an RX550 for my budget, and to be honest, it probably wasn't the correct card to get, but it's all I could find. And to be fair, to learn, and for this cheap little machine, it's ticked over very nicely at anywhere from 30 to 70p a day. Sometimes it's dropped to about 10p. I believe you're on the BEAMV3 mining, on the Nicehash miner there. And what I'm really pleased to announce is that I've actually been able to, with my investments in crypto and my mining on the side, with more so my 1660 Super in my main computer, I've been able to actually return my investment, and I've actually sold a lot of my earnings to get this, on the idea that I will basically get that back through this working for me. So this is, as it says on the side, this is from Scan again. I find they're actually, even though I've not been a long time customer of Scan, I've found their services to be pretty good. We had a bit of a wobble around Christmas actually getting my original computer, but for the specs of the machines and the prices, at least, of what's going on in this sort of scalping craze, I got this MSI Ventus XS graphics card, 1660 Ti. Now my initial plan was to put this in my main rig and have this take over my 1660 Super, but from my research, I'll be honest, the differences between the two, I think this works out at about a 3 to 5% performance gain over the 1660 Super, and I basically come to terms with it that this is my investment for the channel and particularly for my mining business. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use this as intended, and this is just going to be a dedicated miner or backup graphics card for me. Oh, I'll gloss over that. Man, that's nice. Really nice. Okay. Oh wow, that's heavy. That's actually a lot heavier than I thought it would be. I thought the box was quite heavy. Compared to my RX there, I haven't actually personally got my Super out of my PC, and I don't intend to. I did initially think we'll swap it out, but with the, I don't know, I having to update the drivers, having to update the all like my games and things with settings and things just for a 3% performance gain. I mean, it will definitely run cooler, there's no doubt. My single fan card definitely struggles with the heat, but saying that, it doesn't really lose performance or anything for it. We've managed to get it at a point where it doesn't thermal throttle or anything. I couldn't use it anyway. Looking at this now, it hasn't got a DVI port, so, and that's something I was actually wondering, because my current one, we've got a HDMI and we've got a DVI, and I think we've got one of these, I guess it's just a display port. I don't really know what adapter that is, but I haven't got a screen that uses it. I go into my TV, my Sony TV, and that doesn't use that, uses the HDMI, so that's just as well then, really. I wouldn't be able to really use it as is, but wow, this is it feels really nice. It feels like a really solidly built bit of kit. Now this is my first proper, other than the one I've got on my computer, this is the first proper graphics card I've actually had the pleasure of holding, but that really feels a heavy bit of kit to me. So I dread to think what these 30 series weigh like. If this is just a 16, those 30 series must really be a brick. Oh, it's an 8-pin power connector. I didn't think about that. I don't know if we'll need that or if we can power it off the board. I kind of assumed we'd be able to power it off the board, but this is where we're all going to be going, so you're going to have to be learning with me. So, okay, if you made it this far, thank you very much for watching, and let's go on to the next bit, see if we can get this all working. Okay, hope that's okay. Hi guys, so my plans of yesterday in my previous video, the beginning video you're going to see this in all the stages it takes to hopefully get it done. So it didn't go as planned. I kind of hope so. It turns out this HP old school Pavilion, I mean, I don't know what year this is from, but it's a Intel E5800, something like that. It's a Pentium socket, like, what is it, the LGA 775. I had to find that out, so there we go. And long story short, I tried yesterday, all of yesterday. It's about 300 watt power supply. It would recognize this RX, no problem. I got all the drivers installed, no problem for this. When it was plugged in, it was still powering up and everything, so I figured it was okay. But it's kind of me. I kind of knew long run we're gonna need a power supply, but I just kind of thought maybe we might be able to get away with it, but it turns out we can't. And with the way my initial gaming PC is set up, sorry for probably the camera flare there, but from how my gaming PC is set up, I could put this in it and I could probably connect this to it, but I would need to get the other card on a riser, and I'm not sure how that would work with gaming. I think from what I tried before, it doesn't really detail like the performance, but I don't really know. The other one is you can get like an actual extension cable, and I can bring my initial card away, because there is a PCI-E express slot underneath, but my initial super card is like almost a 3-slot card with how big the fan is on it and the shroud and everything. So unfortunately I can't actually put an extension into that if I wanted to, so I'd have to get some way of either vertical mounting that or something to make that work in my gaming PC. But I'm kind of trying to avoid that. I'm going to think ultimately what we're going to do here, speaking to a really nice local guy. I went into one of the bigger retailers for computers over here in the UK, and of course you can't get power supplies, it's only online, so I thought fuck that, we'll go and see some local guy, and I'm glad I did, because it turns out he's a miner as well, and we got talking for a good time. And he's actually given me some advice which I'm really happy about. He's recommended to me to go and have a look at Phoenix Miner and go on a different Ethereum and things, so it's interesting, so it's good for that. He also hooked me up with this, which is pretty cool. It's a bit more than I wanted, but this is at the same time I'm considering this an investment into my rig. So my current plan is at the minute, because this HP board, I'm also having problems with this power unit. When I got this computer, there's a few more of them still for sale, but this was the only one with the side off, and because it had the side off I could see the motherboard, and I'm honest, that's why I bought it. But upon reflection, it had the side off, I think probably because wherever he got it from, there was probably heat issues with it or something. It kept turning off, and I keep getting it occasionally. Like sometimes it will run for a week, no problems, and then other times it will die like 3 times in a day, and I have to come in and reset it. It's not a big deal. We looked at Hive OS. I don't think I can get Hive to run on this PC. It's because it's a HP. There is one way I think I looked at which I didn't realise. I tried to boot it and it wouldn't be able to boot on a USB, but I think there was maybe an option to boot from the floppy. Now I thought, what? Floppy? It doesn't have a floppy. I think it means this front drive, I think. So I may still be able to get Hive on it, maybe if it will let me boot it off of that, but I suspect probably not really. That's just hoping. So what am I going to do now? Currently now, considering my budget and things, and I haven't got a frame and I haven't got a separate motherboard, the motherboard is going to be the next thing. Hopefully I'm going to use this chip and just take this chip, this RAM, put in another motherboard, and you know, boom, we're ready to keep going. But for now, what I'm going to do is I was going to quickly power this up with its own riser using this, and I was going to plug it into this, and I was going to see if it will finally recognize it, because I was getting code error 43. It was showing up, but it wasn't, I don't know, I assume it was a power issue. It's got to be. We got a bag. What? Ah, that's awesome. Full of all the bits. I don't know, let's just stuff that. If we can't get rid of it, let's just stuff it. Let's just stuff it all in there. It's just how they do cable management. Just, there you go. No one will know the wiser. Well, okay, well apparently that's still not coming out, so we backed that off. Oh no. Okay, excuse me. No, okay. There you go, there it is. Okay, I don't know. Maybe it was just some funny mount or something. Right. Can I show you what it is? It wasn't too bad actually, considering in the EU they've gone really like economical with power supplies. It's what we go on, it's like 300 watt. Which is actually quite impressive. My last HP was like 220, no, it's 180 watts, sorry. It was really low power, you couldn't do anything with it. And this motherboard is actually, for sitting on the floor, oh there we go, yeah, that CPU is looking quite chunky with the dust. As I say, for sitting on the floor for like 4 months and I have not touched it, this is looking not bad to me. That slots in nice. A bit quite hard, but it should be okay on it.
That also meant we could keep it in the corner actually, because we're gonna leave it. Just power up now and see if she should be fine. I guess I got to see if it's gonna bloody make a difference now. This is the whole thing. I didn't want to have to rewire, but that's apparently how it had to happen, so it's fine. Nice. Okay, well... so here we go. I've thankfully this has all worked out really well for me. This has actually turned out exactly as I kind of hoped. So I stupidly kind of thought I could use the HP power supply still, but either way we can't do that without powering it on. So long story short, I've just in that previous video there, we've just basically built all this and I've moved it back to its original position, which is over here. Now if I can slightly move it. Now what I actually normally do is I've got this yucca here, and I've got a nice little bonsai up there as well. And usually this is tucked up right up against the computer like that, but what we will do is I sometimes occasionally as well have a fan pointing this way, but what we'll do is we'll just show you. So I decided, I guess I could have the power unit mounted in there. That's probably, looking at it, the better idea actually in terms of dust, because the fan's not even spinning. So I may well still put the power supply in there, because it's not even it says on Nicehash we're drawing at least 90 to 100 watts I think of this Ti. I've not done any overclocks yet. To be honest, this RX 550 it just runs as it does, and as I said before, it works anything from between 10p, 20p, and it can boost up to about 70p a day sometimes. So it's really quite all over the place. But to be honest, it's so like just cheap. It takes over quite nicely. And now this Ti is going to be joining a 1660 Ti. I'm really happy about that. Now I know this is really budget compared to a lot of channels and what a lot of people do, but as I said, this is a journey for me, and I'm going to be making more videos as I progress with this. So if you like this video, please leave a like, and if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, as I'm trying to make my channel grow. And I do very much thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.